to me, the idea that Mookie Betts is anywhere else, it's similar to Freddie Freeman not being on the Braves, but Mookie Betts is, how do you not lock Mookie Betts up forever?
Here we go. Let's bring in our next guest, Grant Brisbee from The Athletic, joining us right now as we get amped for the World Series. All right, so Grant, first off, of course, we'll talk about the series itself, but thanks for coming on. I really, really enjoyed your article. I listened to you on your podcast, The Roundtable on The Athletic. I read most of your articles. So I really get your humor, if you know what I'm saying. And I just thought you nailed it. So congratulations on a really good one and just a really entertaining piece. How has the feedback been?
The feedback was good. It was a piece that was assigned to me. My editor said, "Hey, I got this idea and I think you're going to do it." And I said, "Okay." I'm not really that upset about this matchup. I think it's a ton of fun in a lot of ways, but there is some part of it that's a little, okay, this is a little too precious. It's a little too, it enjoys its own fragrance a little bit too much. And that doesn't mean it's not a great matchup with MVPs all over the place and tremendous generational talents, but it's just, it's a little annoying, just a little bit.
Well, and it's called, just for anyone to go check it out and search it during, after, whatever, this conversation, The Hater's Guide to the 2024 World Series. There's a few follow-ups I'll have from what you wrote. I want to start here. So your mom thought that the World Series meant what?
She thought, and I've heard this since I was like 5, right? So this is part of my family lore. She thought the World Series was the Yankees when the Yankees played the Dodgers. Like the big game is Stanford Cal, right? When you said the World Series, that's just when the Yankees played the Dodgers every year. And so she's grown up in the 40s and the 50s, and every year, she probably didn't put 2 and 2 together when it was, I don't know, Indians, Giants or whatever, but she thought Yankees, Dodgers, that's just the World Series. That's the name they've given it.
That is wild. And really good. Really good. I love it. All right. A couple other parts I do want to bring out. So the owner call out for not keeping players that you draft and develop. Can you get into that paragraph? And of course it hits home. I mean, this show, just like in The Athletic, you can just cover the game how it should be covered, right? Authentically. And I think it's worth pointing out that sometimes you see players like Mookie Betts on the Red Sox escape from the Red Sox because they did not want to pay him his value. And we're supposed to feel bad for, say Boston fans because their ownership group didn't have him in their portfolio views.
That's the most egregious one. That is, to me, the idea that Mookie Betts is anywhere else. It's similar to Freddie Freeman not being on the Braves, but Mookie Betts is, how do you not lock Mookie Betts up forever? How are you not in 20 years just remembering the decades of Mookie Betts on the Red Sox? He is as close to a no-brainer when it comes to locking up as it gets, especially, we're not talking about Barry Bonds and the Pirates. You're Red Sox. You're the Red Sox. You are the Red Sox. Sign Mookie Betts. Keep him as long as it takes. And for me, I cover the Giants, and a lot of people say, where was the Giants' biggest misstep? It wasn't finishing second for Aaron Judge. It wasn't finishing second for Shohei Ohtani. So much is out of their hands. It's not finishing second for Bryce Harper. To me, the biggest missed opportunity was when the Red Sox were shopping Mookie Betts, not to just jump in front of that line and say, listen, we've got, at the time, these big prospects, Joey Bart, Kyle Harrison, Marco Luciano. We're just going to go over the top of whatever the Dodgers are offering. And we want Mookie Betts, not just for the year, because he had 1 year left on the contract, I believe. But just, you have that negotiating window where you can convince him, hey, you're the guy for the Giants. That was their biggest misstep. And to the Dodgers' credit, yeah, they have the biggest payroll in baseball. They've got consistently the best farm system because they can throw the most resources at it. But they also were smart and said, Mookie Betts, yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, we'll put him on the roster and keep him for as long as it takes.
Hey, Grant, Cam Maybe here. I want to go back to the article that I thought was awesome, and I felt like when I was reading it, we were sharing a brainwave because here I am. Dave Roberts is a mentor of mine, but I have a real soft spot for the Yankees. But somebody asked me, and I want you to elaborate on, what do you mean when you talk about it being the most annoying? Because I think I have a feeling of what you mean. In my eyes, I said, if the Dodgers win, the World Series, it'll be great. It'll be talked about for a little bit. But if the Yankees win, we're going to have to hear about this for the next 50 years, and it's never going to go away. Can you just elaborate on what you mean? Because I felt like when I read it, I'll go, this guy gets me.
Yeah, that is because honestly, it's who wins will get talked about, right? The Yankees win, you will hear it for a long time. I mean, you know, we still are hearing 2009. You know, we're still hearing about their past glories. But to me, the more annoying is whoever loses. You are there. You think they're entitled now? You think their World Series are bust now? If they get pushed down the mountain, that's all you're going to hear next year. And if they don't do it next year, the year after that, whoever loses this World Series, they are going to just pretend like they're Sisyphus and you know, oh no, we got to push that boulder up. We're so underprivileged and oh boy, that's going to be annoying. I think the winning team will be a little annoying, but the losing team, oh boy.
I didn't even think about that. I love it.
Who had the bigger misstep? You hit on Mookie Betts with the Red Sox. The Padres, you saw what they did this year. Getting rid of Soto this year. I know they had to cut payroll. I'm not here to argue that nobody really has to cut payroll, but they had him. There's no such thing as a bad 1 year deal. Was the Red Sox misstep with Mookie bigger than the Padres, based on what we saw this year, misstep with Juan Soto?
The Padres one makes a little bit of sense, just a tiny bit of sense. You have, you know, the ownership change, which is, you know, you had an owner who's willing to put anything and everything. Once that isn't quite there, it's a little bit different dynamic. They got Michael King back. You know, the Red Sox, they got Jeter Downs and Alex Verdugo, and Verdugo's now on the Yankees. I mean, they don't have anything to show for it. At least the Padres can say, we've got Michael King, who was awesome. I still would have liked to see them roll with Juan Soto in that lineup, because that would have been absolutely formidable. But I can at least get it. And they get a little bit of a pass when it comes to cutting payroll because they've been adding for so long. I mean, they're probably still paying Eric Hosmer, right? So they've been on the right side of how you build a team for a while, in my opinion.
All right, so Grant, I want to jump into the comments. Oh, I love the comments under the articles, especially certain ones. This, you know, some I'm like, all right, I'm getting some good news out of this, whatever. But for this one, I'm like, I'm also here for the comments. So I'll get to a couple. Here's one from Matt R. On the Athletic comments. On the other owner's point, this is part of the reason why, as an Angels fan, I'm rooting for the Dodgers to win. As much as it would suck in the LA regional area, I want Artie Moreno, Angels owner, to feel the pain of watching Shohei win it all after letting him walk and not even bothering to match his offer. He deserves to feel all the pain. So your reaction to that, but also the follow-up here is, what should people do? Most people want a rooting interest. And, you know, I'm a bettor, so I like to bet on the game. But for many people that don't, how do they look at this and have some type of rooting interest if they're not Yankees or Dodgers fans?
So first off, that's a great comment. I mean, just to have an Angels fan rooting for the Dodgers, just to maximize the pain of Moreno, that's beautiful. That's, you know, that transcends sports. That's just a little nugget of the human spirit right there. As far as the rooting interest, all right. So, you know, I was a Giants fan. I started as a Giants blogger. I was a Giants partisan. Now I'm professional and hoity-toity, and I don't root for teams. People don't believe me when I say that, but I really don't. And so for me, if you don't care about either team, take the journalist's way out. Just really root for a good storyline. It sounds cliche and corny and dumb, and it is, but I'm going to be watching it, not going, you know, oh, Garrett Cole took me the Yankees money and blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to be looking for it and say, wow, Garrett Cole, that guy can really throw a baseball. That's cool. Oh, and look, it's Shohei Ohtani, and he's up and he can really hit baseballs. Wow, these two guys. I mean, honestly, if you're thinking about the greatest dominoes falling in baseball history, almost, it's Mike Trout versus Shohei Ohtani in the WBC. That, how do you not have romance about baseball with that? It's, if you were going to script baseball, and I'm not saying it is, but that's what you would have, is Shohei Ohtani against his teammate at the time. That's beautiful. Root for something like that. Root for Giancarlo Stanton up with the bases loaded in Game 7, and he's waved at 2 sliders in the dirt. And now you're wondering what they're going to come back with. That's what you root for. And it sounds corny. It is, but that's what gets me excited about this World Series.
I love a great deal, but I'm not going to run sprints in the outfield just to save a few bucks. It has to be easy. No hoops, no BS. With Mint Mobile, it really is that easy to get wireless for $15 a month with the purchase of a 3-month plan. Purchase and activation is super easy too.
To get started, go to mintmobile.com/territory. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number.
To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/territory. That's mintmobile.com/territory. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/territory.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on their first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. No, that's a good way to put it. I like that. So I'll get you right to another fan comment that I think got quite a bit of attention. And I saw you respond to it on, I think, the Athletic comments and on Twitter. People are like, hey, you're taking this bit from Urinating Tree. Yes, that's real. And whoever runs that account does a great job. I've seen some of their content. That's what we do, though. We're, a YouTube show, Grant. And they've done, things like Haters Guide and all that. But I will say, I don't know if you caught this comment too. There were people in the comments like, hey, wasn't there a Deadspin article back in the day about Haters Guide? And then there was just a beautiful response from someone being like, I'm pretty sure nobody in recent times invented the blank guide to blank. Pretty sure that's been around for a minute. Like, I can remember being 10 years old seeing that in SI, Sporting News, whatever, you name the magazine. So your thoughts to the accusations?
I will, like I said, this was assigned to me. They said, we want you to do a Haters Guide to the World Series. And I said, I'm your man. I knew Drew McGarry and the Haters Guide to Williams-Sonoma. I read it every year. It's great. And yeah, so I wasn't like, oh no, I'm going to do Drew McGarry's bit. No, I just thought that's just a kind of a trope that writers use. I definitely, and I will go on the record, I did not take Urinating Tree's content. I want to just dispel that right now. Urinating Tree, if you're out there, listen, I'm not familiar with your channel. I'm sorry, Urinating Tree. But yeah, I mean, I'm old. I'm not on YouTube that much. I don't know things. I've been around for a while. I'm sure I've probably used the Haters Guide before. But it actually reminds me of when the Marlins stadium was revealed and the plans and the plans for that sculpture with the floating Marlins and the monstrosity, it was beautiful, but it was also hideous. When that was revealed, I wrote this whole thing about it. And it was one of the first things I did that really got traction on the internet. And some guy in a forum on like marlinsfan.forumnet.net.org was like, this guy stole my ideas. This guy took everything that I was saying, and it's like, yeah, I don't really go on marlinsfan.org.net.fanboard. I'm sorry. So it kind of reminds me of that a little bit, where it's like, listen, there's a lot of content out there, but I've got decades of making stuff up, and you can tell because a lot of it's bad.
Plagiarism is getting flagged so much by you. I can just tell the internet is just on fire. But in your article, you said casual fans might tune in to the first part of the first game. Are casual fans, have we done enough in the game of baseball that I love, sounds like you love? Have we done enough to keep that casual fan watching? Because isn't that the most important thing to grow the game?
Yeah, and 100%. To me, casual fan is not an epithet. I'm wearing a Warriors sweatshirt right now, and so when the Warriors started winning, like I go back and like I'm worrying about Troy Murphy and Ike Diaga. You know what I mean? And so when the Warriors started to get the most popular basketball team in the world, almost, there's a lot of bandwagon fans, casual fans. No, don't get mad at them. They turn into the goofy people who care about Ike Diaga. It doesn't matter how you get in. It doesn't matter what your gateway drug is. Just welcome them. Yeah, this game is awesome. This is fun. This team is awesome. So the casual fan in baseball, if you're going to get them, this is the World Series. I mean, this is, it's not like the Guardians. When did they change their name? It's the Yankees. It's the Dodgers. If you've heard of one baseball player, it's Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge or both of them. And so this is, if you're going to get the casual fan, the thing with baseball is that you really need to absorb it. It's like a 3-hour foreign film with subtitles that's beautifully shot. And the first time you see it, maybe you're bored to tears, but then you start looking at the nuances, and it's you start to, then all of a sudden it's Solaris, and you think, wow, this is just a beautiful movie. The people who are in. It just takes a little bit to get there.
I got one more for you, Graham. I'm going to cherry pick a couple sentences from the article to get a follow-up. You said both of these franchises stare at themselves in the mirror when no one's looking. They also do it when everyone's looking. Then I'll skip ahead. No mascots, jerseys that have barely changed in a century. They insist upon themselves. That's from Family Guy, right? That one? Isn't that an episode with Peter Griffin saying that at some point? Okay, so you want to explain that? And also, do you agree with the way they operate, where they're like two of these classic powerhouses, and they're not big on, I mean, they have fun, right? They do their thing. But I mean, look at the Yankees compared to the Mets this year. It's a prime example. Both have had successful seasons. The Mets have 10 skits and they play it up. The Yankees would not do that as an organization.
Yeah, I don't think they should do anything different. Let's put it that way. I don't think that the Dodgers-Yankees experience would be improved if the Yankees had, Captain Yankee come down with 6 shooters and, shoot hot dogs in the stands or whatever. I think they could allow maybe one beard, maybe 2, maybe, like what's the deal with the beard stuff? But they shouldn't operate differently. It's good that baseball has these organizations that they clearly feel like they're the upper crust of baseball. They're the ones that, they say, oh, you did not go to Harvard. Like they have that kind of mentality of where they're just better because they kind of are. They're classic. They've been around. They're in these huge cultural centers. They have an incredible legacy of players, Hall of Famers left and right. They're a part of the cultural conversation, all the way from, movies in the 50s, and they have Broadway plays written about them, stuff like that. How are they supposed to act? Doesn't mean we can't be annoyed, though. Doesn't mean it can't be, yeah, you're pretty cool. Yeah, whatever. That's the push and the pull, and I love it, but you can't not admit that they're like a little pompous, right?
Yeah, this Ivy League matchup, this Ivy League debate, right? You go to the debate and it's like the 2 Ivy League teams show up and they're like, oh, hello, we're here. Haven't changed a thing. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
well,
they're
Grant,
they're like the 80s film, like the comedy film. They're the bullies, the preppies from the other side of the lake. You know what I mean? Like they're just a little, they got scarves around their necks and stuff. Ascots. They're wearing ascots, both these guys.
Yes. Yeah, they're the classic characters. They're evil empires to an extent, especially both of them right now on the East Coast and the West Coast. There's some people probably that'll watch this on YouTube later and be like, why do they hate my team? But no, we're having fun with this. This is good. I love you have to understand the tone. And I totally got it. So it's very entertaining. Everyone check it out if you haven't already. Check out Grant's article. You can hear him on his pod, The Roundtable. But Grant, thanks for doing this. Appreciate the time and enjoy the series.
You got it. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yo, what's up, FT fam? I appreciate you guys loving the content, but I'm seeing only 50% of you guys are subscribed. Go down below, hit that subscribe button so you can get the real inside information on deck. Let's go.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.